the speaker two is going to talk about the role of AI and IoT in modernizing supply chain surveillance. Presented by Bharanidharan, Chief Information Officer of ProConnect Logistics Solutions Limited. He brings deep expertise in IT programs delivery and SAP with a strong track record in driving process improvement and team performance. He is known for mentoring high-performing teams, both offshore and on-site, and for his active role in customer delivery and business development. His experience covers development projects, compliance, and lean IT systems. Recognized as an innovative CIO in 2024 by CIO News, he is passionate about digitization, IoT, AI, ML, and data analytics. Please welcome Mr. Bharanidharan.
Thank you. Okay, so added to that, now you can add blockchain to it. Because that is again gaining a lot of prominence in the world of AI. So without blockchain, I think many we will not be thinking in the future transactions. Okay, so this was a quick preparation, but I thought that because many of you are basically domain specific and somewhat everywhere we are trying to grapple our hands on AI and trying to figure out, like what is this new animal, right? Now, so that's how basically everyone, including me, is trying to look at it. But if you really look at the kind of wave, what is happening today is the AI wave. Okay, so see, earlier when I completed my college, I saw a computer inside a room and I did not even have an opportunity to go near it because they said, no, like it needs to be kept at certain temperatures, only authorized personnel can be allowed inside and nobody can get into it. So I had a peep show of a computer inside this one. That's how when I was introduced to a computer. Yeah. It was in 1988. Okay. And things have transformed after that. And so the computer wave came in, the web, this one came in, and suddenly 2000, there were so many websites, there were so many things which were coming in. Then the next wave of mobile came in, suddenly devices started getting in closer. Then slowly, see, again, you just look at the kind of depth and breadth the kind of technology is actually taking into. So if you start really looking at it, the technology has taken you from only a few people accessing it to slowly getting it to a higher hands. That means today you can talk to a device and it can understand you. Right? If you really look at it, was only a single mode in which an input was being taken. Okay, and the single mode has to be always converted into a binary, and then only the machine can understand. Okay, slowly things transformed. You could see, NLP is coming in, so the natural language processing. So speech can be processed, slowly video can be processed. So end of the day, the secret sauce in the whole this one is contextualization. How can you accurately contextualize what is happening or what is being told or what is being, even if you try to touch, then the touch should be contextualized. So that's how basically things are moving. If you really carefully watch what is really happening, once the contextualization is taken place, it is natural language processing. You have the language, you have the bits, then the computer can understand what is supposed to be done. Right? But this whole process has a lot of noise around it. Right? It is not so easy as how we can explain this in English. When it gets into practical usage, it was not so easy. So that's the story which I am going to come and tell you about. Okay, what happened? How did we start this journey? Where were we when we started? Okay, and how two organizations, one is ProConnect, which I'll introduce you. ProConnect is a logistics provider. Okay, we call third party logistics. That means none of the products are ours. Okay, we only involve in moving these products, storing these products, safekeeping these products, and getting it to the end customer. So this is what basically we try to do. We operate in a small portion of a supply chain, right? But yet a very critical portion of the supply chain. Right? This is very, very important because what happens is you have to have multiple tentacles so that you reach every pin code across your country. Right? And it is not only reaching that, your payment comes only when somebody says there is a proof of delivery. Right? That means they don't know like kind of leave you, no like kind of, okay, you go and do that. But here this story talks about how we try to safekeep these items within an environment which is called as a warehouse. Okay, we also did something in the transportation area as well, which I have not covered in this, but I already covered. Okay. Here what we did. So we tried a kind of few things over here. That is in a warehouse, the main question for you, some warehouses operate 24/7. Some warehouses only operate certain timings. Okay. And you need to start looking at, like, see, every device cannot be with a CCTV camera and other this one because you need to play with the cost. Okay, somewhere the CCTV camera makes sense. Somewhere you need to have some kind of laser sensors and other things which are there. Somewhere you need to keep a vibration sensor. Maybe your roofs and other things. We generally keep a vibration sensor because that is the opportunity. So that's why you need to first identify what are the type of risks, what basically happens. Because there were many questions which were coming. You cannot give one answer to many problems. Okay, many problems may require many answers. Okay, and certain problems may require many answers, then only that problem can be solved. So all these things are basically experience what I am talking about, right? And so basically look at how we try to get into an advanced kind of a security with all these kind of systems. I think okay, yeah. So what is a problem statement? Because that's what is your starting point, right? When monitoring is happening, it's very, very difficult because manually something cannot be monitored. See, even for us, first we have an attention span. If you are being asked to sit in something and try to kind of look into it, you may not be in a position to spend more time. And if you can spend 30 minutes time really giving attention, I think you are a Swamiji. You can get into that kind of level, right? Even 1 minute our mind doesn't kind of get into that because even when we stare, we cannot be attentive. So that's the kind of manufacturing defect we have, right?
Now added WhatsApp and
Exactly. That means so many distractions. Okay, with the manufacturing defect. So that means what really is this one is human is capable, but human cannot do it. Okay, that's the kind of problem we have. Then reactive response. That means we cannot proactively think that something can happen because that's where risk quantification is very, very important. Okay. See how we try to kind of if senior people know like the security services and other things, you can very well understand the intent by seeing the moves. Right? If you see that some person is kind of getting in over there are some brilliant people who are available. They will say, no, like this fellow is a crook. I think he is fishy. Something is fishy. Okay, it's the intuition, what basically they get out of many experiences what they have. Right? But for many of us, it is not that. Right? That requires a higher level of maturity and understanding, and it's a skill. Yeah, exactly. Okay, scalability issues, because you know warehouses, right? For means it is, we need to scale up, scale down. That means we will open shops, we will close shops. Okay, this will be a day in and day out affair for us. That means what we need to do is we need to see that, and very, very important in any security organization is the edge devices, because that is the highest vulnerable item. Okay, how that is a useful item for us, but if you keep it unattended, then you are gone. Okay, so this is another problem. Then false alarms. That means, again, if a lot of false alarms comes, people lose trust. So what happens is a real correct alarm comes, you may not react to it. Then limited data. Right? We don't have kind of data to analyze and other this one. That's why like we are talking about training the models. And even adequate data cannot be this one. And that is because of behavior. Let me tell you very clearly, because human is the person who creates. Human is the person who destroys. Both things actually it does. How do I say this? The proof is, if I am telling somebody to do a transaction, okay, when he is doing a kind of a data capture and the kind of spot where things are happening, to make it more easy for him, what he will do is collecting everything, he will come somewhere nearby and do it multiple times. Okay, even in shops, if you really look at, you are giving it to somebody to do this one, they will scan one item and they will try to adjust the quantity so that everything is scanned. That means you actually do not capture certain times. Okay, there is whenever a scan is done, a time is captured. If you don't scan 10 times, 10 times data capture of time cannot happen. Right? You need to find ways. But what I am trying to tell is, technologically you need to find like for these inefficiencies. Then lack of integration. Okay, so what happens is, things do not integrate and coordinate together. Because somewhere we were talking about, now somebody is coming 2 meters away, maybe you understood the intent, okay, and you gave an alert, but there is a possibility that we may not be having that intent as well. Right? And multiple systems are there. If everything does an orchestration, then only things can really this one. So there is a need to modernize the whole stuff. Okay. So basically, security threats are also getting sophisticated. That means you need to keep pace with that. Okay. And operational efficiency, because what is also happening is, for organizations, we are like scaling up. And when we are scaling up, what at the same environment, whatever we were transacting now to whatever we are transacting later is going to increase. And when increased volumes are coming, complexity increases. Okay, and there is a need for cost reduction and the whole exercise. Okay, and we have today traditional how we try to like kind of play with AI and IoT and then modernize the whole stuff. Okay, and centralized control tower we had. So this was established, in fact, as an organization because we wanted that to be this one, because the control tower also provides you with experiences. I mean, you need a lot of data. Okay, and this control tower, you need to keep this control tower initially set the expectation very clearly, saying that a lot of false alerts will come. But whatever said and done, let us keep intimating each other. Okay, so there will be people coming in. We used to have very regular calls. We used to kind of discuss this and say, okay, today we had so many false alerts, and today we had these things. What are the reasons? Let us go work on a narrative. Let us figure out what are the reasons why this happens. So we could find a lot of reasons. Like we did not know when we put the web camera, we put the web camera. Okay, then we don't do any cleaning, anything. Okay, we keep doing our day-to-day stuff. Okay, and we understood that cobweb and other things get around the web camera and other things. So cleaning becomes a important stuff over there. Okay, then we need to keep that, put it as an SOP. Okay, the housekeeping has to be intimated saying that you need to clean, you need to make a tick in this area. If this is done, the warehouse manager should be indicated. So every day you please check it up. Just not only the tick, but whether it is clean. Okay, so you need to start looking at, like kind of looking at it. And somewhere somebody says, oh, this frequency of cleaning is not enough. because we cleaned it, but still something popped up. So all these things we were able to kind of this one. Okay. Then this CCTV surveillance was being kind of looked at it into the alarms were kind of analyzed, and we started looking at things. And then, so then slowly we started looking at, oh, somebody else is also able to view this. How can we try to kind of control this? Okay, so that means, this information should not become, see, in the interest of technology, we started taking it to the web, to everything, right? And suddenly there is a risk that somebody else is also watching what is happening. So he becomes more sophisticated and tries to plan using your input data. Then it becomes a problem. Then fire safety measures and other things you need to really take care. Then this for AI inventory also, to some extent we were trying to this one, but we couldn't succeed on that much. But we are still trying on that. And dedicated SLP team was also being put. So we started recruiting people for security. See, before what used to happen is we used to have very few staff for security aspects, because we were only thinking saying that security means physical security. Bring some person, stand there, whoever comes in, frisk out, frisk in, kind of things, So these are not enough. We need to really start, because when volumes go very heavily, then completely things are going to change. Because see, earlier when we started seeing the shops, how did we see? We gave a list, if that person will give you that, you came out. But when suddenly there is a huge demand, what happened is you couldn't deploy more manpower to kind of packet and give it. Then when they started doing it, they started making a shopping kind of cart and other this one. They made you to take and go start putting it. Now the next level has come. That means even billing counter is not enough to kind of do this one. So they started RFID, putting that in, and you will be in a position to cross the billing without kind of this one, and all that now is able to be done. Okay, and if you really look at where we try to take it, physical security, take this CCTV, access control, do an AI analytics, have the control tower doing the whole stuff, and then the security team is also trained in terms of this one, because there was somebody who was asking, saying that I don't pass only we are trying to take or anything. In fact, those fellows are really brilliant. Let me tell you very clearly, that's this one we are seeing with zero. So many of you know, 10th pass is not that he is not brilliant. He is not he is economically challenged. That's why he is 10th pass. But he is not mentally challenged. If you start challenging him, he will really get up. And in fact, these are stories which Zoho is doing now. Titan did it very long back. Okay, so today, if you really see, 10th pass guys are today directors and CEOs in organizations. Okay, so it's again, the kind of this one, how much opportunity you give it, because with recruitment, your job doesn't end. You need to train. Okay, and you need to train to build the skill. The only person who is needed is 10th pass with a will. That's it. That's enough, more than sufficient. Okay, I think with this one of AI, I'm trying to tell you, people are trying to learn enormously. Education is now giving only certain level of how to learn. What to learn is to the individual. Right? That's where we try to kind of take it. And then more incidents came in. I explained you how we started responding to the incidents. It's not only responding to the incidents, understanding what is false alarm and this one, how to control it and all that stuff. Okay. So Duranc actually came in. I think this is a duplicate which I'm trying to put it over here. Already Sreenivas had explained the whole stuff. In fact, again, Vamsi also may be explaining on the technical front. So this is video management serverless system. Okay, it's a very comprehensive platform. Okay, where we were able to know. Initially, we studied a lot, trying to kind of train this, trying to put in this one. So even there, they need to kind of work out, what makes more sense and what can prevent these false alarms and other this one. And then basically the main this one is insights. End of the day, that is where when you talk about intent, it is insight basically, right? So the moment you understand the insights, then you know what the intent is, and you will be in a position to kind of this one. And basically, This one has no additional hardware or anything is required, no recording. The CCTV, once it records, then you have enough data, you can do a lot with that. So that's what like they have been telling, like in our case it is intrusion, whereas in other case it is counting. Like I'm trying to understand the management, crowd management. So a lot of stuff can be done using that. And main advantage of this is real-time alerting. So the moment alerts come in, then you use multiple channels also in terms of alerts because people don't respond to certain this one. Each one has a preference. Somebody drinks coffee, somebody drinks tea. So somebody will quickly see a WhatsApp, somebody will only see emails. So there are people, so you need to play with their preferences also. So you have to like really start understanding all these things. And basically, is intrusion detection, loitering detection also is possible, whereas we have not put that in. But in some areas, we have actually started looking at it because we basically look at now when quick commerce and other things are coming in, the grazing becomes a big this one, and people wasting their time and other this one is not so easy to be digested by that kind of a system because there everything is required very fast. So then false alarm we reduced it by 300%, and this works with every camera. We started really working it with it. See, many things we worked. I mean, like not only the camera, but taking it to the NVR, DVR, how much storage I should keep, how much storage we should keep in the cloud. Okay, what need to happen? So all this was a big learning for us.
What was the timeline that you achieved that 300% reduction?
It took us almost a year. Almost a year for us. But with continuous work, I'm trying to tell you, continuous in the sense, like almost sharing everyday data. So then slowly the accuracy started, kind of this one. Then we used to publish a daily dashboard indicating saying that how many had come and how many, and then we started seeing reduction in that. Alarms and other this one. Like people need to really start working on it. They should not say that like assume it or do something. Like we had to really deploy more people in the beginning. Slowly we could taper down in terms of this one. So this is how capture the data, then store the data. That's what we was trying to do. Then do the analytics. Anomaly this one, then alert generation and give it back in the analytics. So that we again analyze the alerts, whatever have come, and try to improve kind of this one. So real-time processing. So that help us basically in this one. So immediate alerts are coming. So control tower is able to kind of look at it and try to do this one. Proactive defense, like transform security from reactive to proactive with automatic responses. So we were in a position to like really start looking at it. And many see the moment somebody sees recently I saw a reel where somebody had posted this one indicating you are under CCTV surveillance. So the person who is working like looking at it and thinking that I should not steal. The other person thinks he should not steal. Finally, the shop owner comes in and tells I only posted a pamphlet. I don't have a CCTV camera. So you have the behavior. The moment that you are watched, you will be always right. So scenario, if you really look at like warehouse, you deploy cameras and other this one. There is a control tower which basically tries to watch it. And then see, we also not only control tower, but we also have given in some warehouses where facilities are available, we have given it to the security itself. So he himself will be watching in his zone and other this one. So the control tower will be additional for him. Generally, it is always better closer watch and closer this one. The reaction is always better. But not all warehouses you will have that advantage. Because some warehouses, what happens when things are closed and other this one. See, this is where SOP and other things are very, very important. You need to and the SOP should be devised very clearly so that when people are available, how you should operate. When people are not available, how you should operate. All that you need to be in a position to like really start looking at it. And then everything else is like attempting to scale the fence or alert WMS and all that. Then you VMS and then you get this one. So this is what is the whole story. So feature is detection accuracy, manual monitoring with fatigue, but after Duranc it is AI powered detection. False alarm rate high, and here we reduced. Response time is reactive, but real time alerts are coming, so still reactive, but at least to some extent we can apply to reactiveness. Data, we have analytics so that we can analyze and start looking at like how we can even define our like kind of systems in the whole this one. So this is what we learned in the whole this one. Okay, and basically again, one more thing, when I talk about SOP too much, it is very, very important that devices need to be working, because we were talking about this haste and they were telling my device was not there, it didn't capture another this one. So on a daily basis, we send a report indicating that how many cameras are working, how many cameras are not working, and why it is not working on a daily basis. Because somewhere what happens is UPS might have failed. Because UPS again requires regular maintenance. If you don't do that maintenance properly, then obviously UPS will fail. Okay, and power can go. Okay, internet can fail. Okay, so there are multiple failure points which are available. And apart from that, in IoT systems and other things, when you are trying to keep, you should always see whether it is working or not working. Right, and see, to the extent how we have kept it is, if there is a closure time for IoT device to be operational, and you cannot keep it operational always, because when people are available, that gives a false alarm. And you have a kind of a silent hour. During the silent hour, you are not expecting anybody to be getting inside the warehouse or something like that. So you try to put a kind of a laser, this one, you switch it on. So whether it is on or not, again, it is being managed by the control tower. Okay, if it is not on that time, they get an alert. So that they get this one indicating this is not switched on, they will immediately call the warehouse guy and indicate saying that, come on, it's not switched on. That means the security who is standing near goes there and switch it on. And this security need to be trained in every aspect. And not only those aspects, you need to be trained in that area, saying that what customer you are handling, what is the safety precautions you need to take. So there is a huge amount of stuff which need to be kind of educated, and you need to make the security to educate others, because we make this process. What we do is, whenever anybody visitor comes into the kind of warehouse, the security will come and explain, sir, let me explain what is the safety procedure. So you should always wear a helmet when you go in this place. You should not walk into these aisles. There will be vehicles flying here and there. So you need to watch out. You cannot, there is a walking area. You need to walk in that area only. Okay, and because it's a warehouse, you may not know what is happening within a warehouse. You may be a visitor, you may be getting inside. And when there is a visitor available, then the central monitoring tower also will be notified how many visitors are going inside. Right. So see, these are the things, like Sreenivas was telling, when vehicles are coming, I need to whitelist the vehicle. But then I need to put a SOP. I need to have a process there. I need to tell these vehicles will be given a pass. So if there is a pass, then I will pass for this. Right? So something you need to make it. Unless you do that, it becomes very, very difficult. So see, integrated, this one, end of the day, what is the takeaway? AI is not going to kind of okay, AI is it is going to stay, it is going to come more. Okay, you need to find a way how to work with this and take advantage of it. That is very, very important. So if you feel that you don't want to learn AI, you will be forced to learn AI. Right? See, in our period, we were thinking that computer and all, I didn't even think about it. Right? At that point of time, even I didn't think about a car. I was thinking, okay, I have a two-wheeler more than sufficient, very happy with that. When the construction was happening, the engineer told me, like, car parking, I said, I will never buy a car. Why you are planning a car parking? Put a room. But when I bought a car, I had to remove the room and park the car there. So, times are changing. Please tune your mind to the changing times. So, AI, you may not understand, but not everything we understand at first. So, keep trying, keep on trying, you will understand it. Right? Any questions?
Any questions?
Yes, sir.
That we can use other than camera, for thank you. Other than camera, do we have any AI-enabled solution implemented where auto scanning of parts through barcode we can have? Yeah, we discuss about RFID and all. It's auto scanning, camera and all that. Can do a tracking for a bigger part. If I talk about small parts with a high quantum in lakhs, so do we have any such technology right now in AI industry which we can use or optimize for this kind of
Small parts.
Yeah.
How to keep it secure? Is that what?
keep it track, inventory track, and secure? Yes.
See, no, RFID. See, RFID is this one where you can kind of keep track on the rest one. And but again, when it is a very small part, again, like you don't have RFID.
So
This one,
barcode will only work.
eh?
Only barcode will work in that case.
Barcode.
Barcode, normal barcode. Manual scanning we have to do one by one.
Okay.
So do we have any solution in AI recently implemented in the market or have available in the market which we can use for bulk scanning?
Bus scanning.
Bulk scanning.
Oh, yeah, bulk scanning, there are things available. Again, we tried doing that because what happens is for us, things come in kind of pallets. Okay, when things come in pallets, we have multiple barcodes which are being available across. So I actually tried one POC where I tried kind of rolling it around and taking a camera and then trying to understand the barcode. So I was able to technically succeed. That means technologically there is an answer. But practically what happens is, like I don't really properly like stack it. So that all barcodes are externally visible. Okay, so there is a possibility that I will even keep certain things inside. That's where the RFID works. See, the RFID works with this one, but when you look at the RFID design, you need to do a containerization. Okay, if you go to Decathlon, you can see this working. Yeah. The moment you see items, you start putting it in a kind of a bin, whatever they give, automatically everything will be built. You don't need to put one by one. You can put bulk into it. It will immediately, kind of take it inside. See, technology is available, but today, whether that cost will be working out for you is a question. Technologies are available. But over a period of time, this cost has to come down. When this was not this been Decathlon before. Today, RFID tags are coming, static tags are coming very cheaper. Yeah, and they are able to do printing. And with the way we are getting things printed, technology is going to really become cheaper and cheaper. Commercially getting viable.
Next question, sir.
Hi, this is just to add what Shah told. There is something called Amazon Go technology, which is there in US. So where you just walk into the store, pick whatever that you want to pick, and you walk out of the store, and it gets automatically billed to you. That is, it is like you need to have that specific bin labeled, and the cameras are focused over there that sees that particular item picked, and it starts reducing it from the inventory, and then the cost gets added to your bill. So that technology is available, but it is very expensive.
Yeah.
But is it possible, study to implement in India?
It's too expensive. In India, it's not more expensive.
No, that's like,
That's why the technology is
one more thing I am trying to tell you. Everybody has money constraints. Whether it is 100 rupees, 1000 rupees, it varies between people. That's it. No, like even somebody has, so the end of the day, money is a constraint. So that for everybody it is the same. And even US organization is not going to throw away money. So you need to be very conservative about it. In fact, last meeting also I was telling you very clearly that you will never get money for what you want to do. But you need to find ways in which how you need to do things with the existing money. That is innovation. But the moment you start really thinking it, you will find answers. Okay, see, one of my cousins, he was not kind of a normal person. When I went into his house, I found that to see that he is beating the heat, he has put the bedsheet into water and he has put it on the window. And when I told him what is happening over there, and then he said, no, once you put the heat doesn't come inside. Okay, you don't need an AC there. If you think you have money, you will think about AC. If you don't have money, put a blanket and get the same output.
But in this case, like Amazon in US. So the police comes after you. The moment you steal additional and get you not pay like your walk. No, but it automatically.
If you haven't paid for everything.
Yeah, it automatically charges.
No, in fact, this particular technology, very long back, I believe it was in 2000, in the year 2000, I have seen it lively working in Germany.
So, now just to add to a couple of things, cost, budget versus the solution kind of a thing. There are a lot of requirements coming to us also nowadays, very practical, but the cost may be, a question in that. One of the recent requests that has come from one of the cloud kitchen was put their top-down camera. When the food is packed, they want that image along with the bill that is generated, the QR code, and the timestamp. Everything has to be stored in the system. When they look back, if the customer says that I ordered like 3 items and I got only 1 item or whatever it is, or a different one, then they should be able to just type in the bill number, and then they should be able to get back the original packing time information. So there are a lot of things which we can do.
Exactly.
It's the collaboration between the customer and the solution provider, where that interaction actually helps in building that solution.
Yeah.
There's an add-on.
So if you really look at this one problem statement, talks about the blockchain kind of this one. In fact, this is going to come more in the future days. This is where, because what happens is blockchain is again another platform, right? And that is where you need to orchestrate between these two.
Take 2 minutes and explain blockchain.
Okay. See, yeah.
You have to pay for it.
Maybe shall we take it outside or you want it in? Okay.
We are upside.
Yeah.
We want to listen. Okay. Any quick questions? Last one. Good. Okay. Thank you so much.